One, domestic factor that I was tracking was Vodafone's FPO, which, by the way, was the largest FPO in India, and this was a big hit. I mean, especially from the institutional side of things. I mean, this quota set aside for QIBs, the qualified institutional buyers, was subscribed over 19 times. Kranthi, how are you reading this? I mean, is it because the FPO price at 10 to 11 was perhaps cheap and attractive, or is it that they are betting big on the turnaround, because a lot of this money, 70% of it, is going towards capex?
Yeah, so as you rightly mentioned, they're betting for a complete turnaround with respect to the Vodafone prospects are concerned because of the given the kind of macro dynamics the Indian economy have. So Vodafone is going to have a sustainability. So that is the reason we can see a whole host of QIBs have been uh, placed with respect to Vodafone FPO is concerned. It received a very good, robust response from the institutional investors. So one thing is, next couple of quarters, how the plans are going to be, the rollout of 5G, and also how they are going to uh, improve the client base, subscriber base, and also the improvement of the ARPU. So that's where the key dynamics are placing at this point of time. Given the kind of uncertainty, the investors got into a good valuation zone at this point of time. So the long-term outlook of Indian telecom market is concerned, it looks vibrant from a duopoly. Still, there is a chance for the third operator in India. That's where it's creating the interest. The promoters' interest also creating the interest among the institutional investors. So for a retail investors are concerned, we have witnessed some kind of skittishness with respect to the subscribing for the FPO is concerned. So the high risk appetite investors, given the kind of the activity what we witnessed in Vodafone FPO is concerned, one can look into considering at these valuations at this point of time because of the sustainability matrix and the uncertainty towards the business sustainability has came down right now. That is the reason one can, if the investors have a high risk appetite for a longer term, one can consider Vodafone IPO, Vodafone stock at this point of time.
And I mean, considering the kind of surge we have seen, 11.5% rally in Vodafone Idea, I mean, those who will perhaps get the shares, they are at the upper band of the entire price range of at 11. They are already sitting at about 31%. So perhaps a good bet for them. But you were talking about the telecom space in general. I mean, that is a space that is buzzing off late. Apart from the strong interest we saw in Vodafone's FPO, Bharti Airtel has been in the in the spotlight. The stock has surged nearly 45% in the last 6 months. Even today, it surged over 3% and hit a fresh record high. Its group company Bharti Hexacom, after a stellar debut of with a 30% listing gains, has surged another 20% in less than 2 weeks. Jio, in the unlisted space, continues to do well on a quarter-on-quarter basis, as we saw in the results of Reliance Industries. Also, there are speculations of a tariff hike that are making rounds, which would further, boost ARPUs for these companies. So, is it a good time to enter this space, Kranti, or is most of the upside already factored in?
The good news for the investors is, Suyash, at this point of time, the price war seems to be over. Okay, now people are looking at the profitability, both Geo as well as Airtel is concerned. So that is the reason the interest is getting created at this point of time. So if the tariffs are if move in the coming quarters, that's going to create some kind of interesting activity with respect to their margins are concerned. So that's where that is the one of the key reason for Vodafone's FPO success also. That's where the market is anticipating at this point of time. One thing is the price wars are at this point of time are in a consolidation phase right now. So that's what creating the interest with respect to the sustainability of the business models are concerned.
But would you bet on this space, and what would you pick if you had to bet on something? Because we only have two listed players. The big ones, of course, are Bharti Airtel, Vodafone Idea. Then we have smaller players as well. Bharti Hexacom is another one. What would you pick, and what would you add to your portfolio if you are betting on
See,
this
right,
space? That is.
yeah, right now, what we can expect from these business prospects sector is it's quite robust and vibrant. But what we can expect is a mid-teen kind of return still one can get from these business models at this point of time. Definitely, for a moderate risk appetite investor, one can consider Bharti Airtel as the primary pick. And if the investors have a high risk appetite, definitely they can consider Vodafone for a medium to longer term perspective.